Hello again. Right, we are back. Little technical kerfuffle, but we are back and we are here. And yep, here we go. We've got a few more people that have joined us, that have jumped over. Sweet Danny Lee. Nice. Cool. So we're going to pick up exactly where we left off.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So yeah, the dioramas.
Yeah. We said most people know you from your diorama bases that you used to make. Tell us how you got into that, and some of the why these pictures here show us some of your favourite pieces, what you like about them.
Okay, so I got into the diorama work purely because being a collector myself, as I was saying, I really wanted some bases and things for my own figures. So I started creating them for myself, and then I made a few more. I put some on eBay just to see what the feeling was like, and then I started to go onto YouTube, kind of looking at sort of if there were any other kind of like action figure dioramas out there, and I found that it was a huge thing in the US. Lots of people making them there, but hardly anybody making them here in the UK. And while some of my pieces were on eBay, a guy from one of the action figure groups that I'm now in messaged me and asked if I would like to join his group. He really liked my work. He thought that I would enjoy it and people would like my work. So I joined, and so it kind of escalated from there, really. And then obviously displaying my work on some of the groups, slowly got into that. And then that's how really I started selling them as such and taking commission work.
So cool. Ian, sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. You carry on.
I was going to say, Ian, my eye is drawn to the Evil Dead base there. Why haven't you got one of those?
Stupidly good question. I really want one. Really want one. It looks great. Particularly like I've delved back into Evil Dead lately, and I think I might be hitting Louise up for one of them soon.
That was my biggest seller. I made a lot of those, lot. In fact, it got to the stage of I had to make them. But I got bagfuls of hands.
I was going to say, were you asking people if they had any spare hands?
Yeah, it was anybody got any hands? And they had to be a specific type as well. But yeah, so that was
I'm sure Ian's got a few hands he can send you.
I can't. I've literally got a whole screw box full of hands and bits like that.
And the thing with my work as well, it's all mostly is made from model foam. It's not. I mean, I do all the wood effect and everything in it. So a lot of people sort of like, is that wood? And it's like, no, that's I've actually carved it to make it look like that.
Yeah, they look really good.
Really good. Yeah. I was just saying earlier. Sammy Maxwell, he knocks out some fantastic pieces, and I believe you sort of you chat to each other and share
we're
ideas.
Really good mates. I met Sammy on one of the figure groups, and I've known Sammy for about probably 6 years plus now.
Okay.
And he's really kind of just got a knack for it. He is really good at it. He's got the eye, and I think some people have either got it or they haven't when it comes to dio work, and he has got it. He can just turn anything that you want into to make it look good.
And it's so quick as well.
He just turns. I don't know how he turns around so quickly, but he's a top guy, and highly recommend him for any dio work.
You've impressed Sean. Wait, that's foam.
You can't believe it.
Yeah, it's all foam. A little, maybe. I mean, even the hand and carbonite on the wall, that's all foam, apart from obviously the actual main part. But all of that is made from foam.
Yeah, the effect on that's brilliant. You got like thousands of little kind of.
That was done from a little pommel stone.
Okay. Yeah.
It
looks really good.
It's just I've learned so many techniques over the years and things that work for me, and I've got a YouTube channel, which Geek Girl Dioramas, and I've had that for quite a few years, and I haven't uploaded anything for quite some time, but I've done some little tutorial videos and stuff on there as well over the years.
I think the key to it is very much like Ian and myself have dabbled with some sort of few basic dioramas, but I think as with figures, like if you're doing kind of like the weathering and it's knowing how far to go to make it look realistic, because a lot of people go too over the top. And I think
it's
with
all
these,
in the weathering, definitely.
yeah, definitely, it just gives it that realism, doesn't it? Just like your brain kind of interprets it as a real object, because it just has the look and feel. So and really good stuff. So we should move on to your I say your current venture. I think you've been drawing for most of your life, but obviously recently you've been churning out some of these fantastic pieces. You've been selling some originals. I think you've done some prints as well, have you? From
I've sold all the ones. Well, all the top row you have there. I've sold quite a numerous amount of prints of those, not of recent times, but. I've started. Obviously, I started drawing again. I would say properly, probably about 2 years ago. I'd say after I kind of stopped making the dioramas. I still wanted to be creative, because I am that way out. I have to be creative.
Yes.
It's an outlet for me. So
yeah.
I just found I just done it just to take time up, and it was kind of like downtime for me, and you kind of post a few things up and people are like, wow, that's really good, and I still don't think it's that good. And I'm not like trying to down myself, but I still think really, but and I started up a page, a Geek Girl Art Facebook page, and I've got a small little following. I've got a following of just over 400, I think, but
I need to follow you. I don't think I follow you, but I should. I mean, I love your work. I own a Chewbacca piece from you. I absolutely love it. It's my only piece of original artwork that I own, and I believe that's one of the first ones that you sold to anybody. I just took a punt and went.
Danny Lee's loving that Zuckers.
Yeah, that was the first one I'd done. I would say after Chewy, that was probably the first one I'd done in pastels. I had never ever used pastel pencils before.
No, I was going to ask you about how you kind of chose your medium, and how did you just experiment with differently, because you've not used these before. Where did you kind of find out about them?
I take a punt. I go, oh, let's have a go at that. That's what I did with the dies. So let's have a go. I can do that.
Yeah,
then I done it.
So we've got a couple of comments asking how much do you charge? I think you might get a bit of business out of this.
Yeah.
Think carefully.
I don't know. I haven't sold them for ages.
Don't undersell yourself. Yeah.
No. I am looking into getting back into selling them. I haven't. I've stopped for a while because of circumstances, but I've started to, obviously, with now I'm creating more art, and I'm actually now making some. I'm collaborating with another friend of mine who does a lot of toy photography, Star Wars toy photography, on Instagram, and he has been helping me with. I think you've got the indie comic cover there that he helped me with. So I've been incorporating my art, and he's been doing the Photoshop side of making them look like a comic book cover. So that's kind of a new thing that I'm starting. So I'm hoping to build up some more stuff, and then I can offer more prints out. But
that's really cool. So what are some of your favorite pieces? Are they the ones we can see here? These
are probably, I mean, there's loads, but I mean, these are probably the ones I'm most proud of. Like I said, with the pastel pencils, that's kind of I'm not a painter, so anybody comes to me and go, could you paint something? No, I don't do paint. My main mediums are ink, pastels, or I would say crayons, but color pencils. That's kind of my medium, and I don't venture out of that really, because that's what I'm comfortable with, and that's my style. And what you see is my style of art, and I just love.
I absolutely love them.
So that's why.
I said to you the other day. I said I wish I should have bought that ET. I never saw it. I'd have bought that. If
I went to America actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the prints of those.
Akbar's incredible. The finish on his skin. I mean, that could be a painting.
That was my first one actually in pastel. And I was like, I think I can use these. These are really cool. But
So what inspires you to? I mean, obviously you're painting clearly the things you love from your childhood, from the 80s and stuff. What inspires you to to pick your next piece? What kind of process do you go through there to, or was it just a real whim? Oh, I fancy drawing
Yeah, it can be like
so and
something
so,
I'm
and
watching, or it can
yeah,
be like, oh, I would just like lying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and go, oh yeah, that'd be good, something good to draw.
hmm
It usually is. I have. The thing is with me, a lot of people would come to me and go, "Oh, can you draw this? Could you do this to me?" And I'm like, unless I'm feeling it, I can't. I'm not. I can't get.
yeah, that's yeah,
So I draw what I like, and that's the only way I can kind of get.
I think that's the best way to do it, because if you're taking commissions, someone says, "Oh, can you do me this?" and then they're not sure, or you're not happy with it. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because
It's
they
a
kind of
pressure.
feel obliged to buy it, even if they don't love it. You might not love it, but at least here, you've done something, you love it, you're happy enough to display it. And if somebody then comes and says, "Do you know what? I love that. Can I buy it?" Then everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
There's nobody. I think that's a good
It's the
way to.
same kind of thing like when you're painting like head sculpts and stuff. Like, you know, the stuff that you really, really want to paint just comes out so much better than the
Yeah.
stuff that you know.
Yeah.
That, don't get me wrong, you'll do the best you do the best you can,
Mhm.
but sometimes like there's certain things you get and you think I really, really like doing this, and it shows. It really does show.
Yeah.
Like you can
And I
always
think that.
tell when someone enjoys what they've done
Yeah.
Yeah.
over them kind of just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And
And I
you've got a
find that.
love for that character as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so like I mean, obviously, you can see by a lot of my work is Star. A lot of my stuff is Star Wars.
Yeah.
I do try and deviate, and I do, but I
Mhm.
I always I'm
Mm.
always drawn back to it because
Yeah.
I love it, and I get inspired when I draw it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
a lot of my stuff it is all mainly pop culture. I'm not into. I mean, I've drawn a few animals and things, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. That's something that doesn't sort of make me feel really creative. I just want to do what I want really,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Mm.
I don't feel pressured, and I can go with the flow. It's when people start asking me to do stuff and I go, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Quite
think
good.
you're right. Stick with what you're doing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think, as you say, like even like when you're doing custom figures and stuff, you're doing figures that of characters that you know and love, and you get a feel for it, and you put the effort in, and
Mm.
you know that that, as you say, you've got a feel for it. They come out, they just have that extra kind of polish to them. So is there anybody? So I think my last question really. So is there anybody, any character, anything that you haven't painted yet that you're really itching to have a go at?
I don't know at the moment. I've actually
No.
lost my mojo a little bit. I think lockdown. I've done loads at the beginning of
Yeah, you
lockdown,
have. Yeah, you've
Mm.
been
and
really prolific. Yeah.
I was like banging them out, and then the last 2 weeks I'm just like, I've lost a bit of I'm not quite sure what I want
Mm.
to draw at the
Yeah.
moment. But
Yeah.
then I get like that, and then all of a sudden I want to do 5 at once, and then I'm like wanting to get them done. But
Yeah. Yeah.
It
we'll
gets
So
like that though
see.
yeah.
sometimes. Like
Yeah. You
sometimes,
get a bit
like,
of a.
yeah, like I want to paint every single night sometimes, and I'll be like, yeah, brilliant. I'm well in the mood for it. And then some weeks it's like, it feels like a chore. You kind of go,
Yeah,
I can't be bothered. But then like the next week or the week after, it's like, no, I'm itching to get back at it. It's really weird. Like, yeah, you've really got to be in the zone for it, haven't you?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how long would one of these pieces take? Say the Admiral Akbar. How long? How many hours work would that
Um,
be?
it would probably be about probably 4 to 5 hours work.
Okay, that's pretty
If I
good
put it all
going.
together, I couldn't do it all in one go. I'll probably do it over 2 days, or
Still
a couple
pretty
of
good going.
days.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once I sit down and start something, I can't stop. That's the problem. So
Yeah.
obviously with an 11-year-old, I've got to be quite. I have to do it when he's in bed or
Yeah.
when he's
Yeah.
with
Choose when
dad.
to
So
start, because you can't. Yeah, you don't want to be interrupted, kind
yeah,
of
and
thing.
now he's a bit older. He doesn't mither me too much, and all he goes is, "Can I have that one? Can I have that one? Can I have that one?" So he ends up with half the stuff in his room.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's nice to, I mean, it's nice, I think, in a way, to obviously to sell some and know that other people are enjoying them, but it's nice
Yeah.
to keep some of it yourself as well.
I'm always
Um,
humbled that people even want to have my art on their
Oh,
walls. So
yeah,
for me,
yeah,
even
yeah.
now, and that's even like giving pieces of art to people. To me, I'd rather it be hanging somewhere and appreciated than it just
Mm.
sitting in a drawer, which a
Yeah,
lot of my
yeah,
stuff is, to be fair. But
yeah,
I don't really
yeah.
draw it to sell it as such. I draw it
No,
because
no,
it makes me happy and it makes other people
yeah,
happy just seeing it. So that's
yeah,
enough for me, really.
exactly. That's great. And these pieces here, are these like the only version in terms of, or do you end up starting one and scrapping it and starting again, or do you very much kind of like these are the ones that you started and finished the same piece?
Yeah, Akbar was his third attempt, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And as 11 was from Stranger Things, that was a
Hmm.
second attempt. But most of them, once I start,
Yeah.
I keep going. And I generally don't. I generally don't have to redo stuff. I've got a pretty good. I take my time on how I'm going to set it out.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I'll be watching you with interest and looking to snap up my second piece of artwork at some point when something really grabs me.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
Your cat's decided to photo bomb
Yeah, yeah,
my cat. Oh man.
you.
yeah. Just in the
She's really
in the
not because
corner.
I'm in a chair for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. She's like,
like,
how long are you going to be? I want to sit there. That's my
Yeah, I'm gonna come and just stare at the back of your head. Yeah,
yeah.
probably attack me in a minute.
It was funny because I just saw her kind of move in, and then it was are you going to move?
Always got to get in on it.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So you've very kindly offered to donate an original piece of your art
Yes.
to our live listeners. So I'll just get that up on the big screen. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about this piece?
I will. If you can just bear with me, my you're going to hate me with this now, but my battery's running low on my laptop.
No worries.
Go plug it in.
Anyone who's watching that hasn't dropped a comment, if you drop a comment now, I can enter you in. Because luckily I've made a note of everyone who was in before we.
Yep.
Before
so
went
this
down.
is an original piece of artwork from Louise. If you are the winner, we will post this out to you. There it is.
Yeah.
We just got one more question from Danny Lee.
Okay,
do you only draw portraits, or have you done any fuller half-figure drawings?
If anybody wants to have a look at what I do, because this is a very small amount of what I've done, go over to Geek Girl Art on Facebook, and I've been doing some vintage Star Wars figures
Yeah,
recently.
they're really cool.
I've just done a Han and a Luke, and I'm going to be doing some more of those. So yeah, I do all sorts of stuff, but it is mainly portraits. That's my bag, really.
Mm.
Cool. So we've got in the chat so far entered in. We got Sean Fear, Danny Lee, Ryan Smith, Caesar M, and Nathan Ailka. If I mispronounced any of your names, I apologise. So that is a grand total of 5. So
that's good.
Well, to be fair, we had and then collecting weekly. That kind of doesn't help here, but let someone else win. Very kind of you. So what I've done, I've assigned you all numbers. Sean's number 1, Danny's number 2, Ryan's 3, Caesar's 4, Manny as well. Nathan is 5, and Manny is 6. So
cool.
That looks like Manny's been there since the start, apparently. Thank you, Manny.
Oh wow.
What we'll do is we will do a eliminator, because that seems to be what we do, and that makes it way more interesting.
Yeah.
So first one out is Sean, mate. You're gone. Next one out. It is, yeah. Manny, you're gone.
Oh,
and
sweet angel.
Danny, you're out of here.
Oh.
He's already gone. 2's already gone. 0. 5, Nathan, you're out of here. So it's between Ryan and Caesar. So if I go back. So we've got 3 and 4. So what I'm going to do is renumber you two to make it easier for me. So Caesar, you're now number 2. And Ryan, you are now, you feel the tension. You're on number 1. Right. Maximum 2, minimum 1. So next one out is Caesar. You are gone. So Ryan, my man, you have won.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
And can I just say, what I will do is when we send this one out, I'll be sending out, I've got a spare Akbar print, so I will send that along as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very, very kind of you. That is
Very much.
Ryan, you lucky bastard.
Because
yeah.
I'm feeling like nice and kind. And
Fantastic. So do you want to, if you could just tell us a little bit about this piece that Ryan is now going to be in his collection?
Proud owner of.
Yep.
Yeah, so really it was obviously I wanted to do like a comic book cover type drawing. And I loved all the sort of Star Wars, Marvel. You can get the comic, the blank comic covers, and that people were doing.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I wasn't quite sure how you could get hold of those, to be fair. So I kind of managed to get myself one, but as a sheet. And I thought, well, I'll just have a go at it. Yeah, and I thought I wanted to do Yoda because I hadn't done him for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's kind of where it came from. Again, it had to be Star Wars because, I love Star Wars.
Yeah, no, it's a great piece.
Yeah, so, and it's kind of it's a bit of a different size as well. It's not, it's sort of a bit different size to what I would normally do. But yeah, it's come out really well. I really love it, and I've used a sort of a mixture of ink and pencils and some pastel as well to kind of get different effects on it.
Yeah.
So in the
No,
flesh,
I love
really
it. It's
smart.
a really nice
it's
piece.
really, really good.
We got a comment in from Ryan.
We have indeed. Awesome. Thank you so much. Beautiful looking piece. Thank you so much, Louise. I think he's grateful.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome.
That's brilliant.
Enjoy.
Yeah. So we'll you wanted to message you, Ian, with his address details,
I mean,
and we'll sort out.
Luckily, Ryan's the guy who sold me the indie stuff. So I've got his details.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'll drop him a message.
Yeah.
I should.
Okay. Yep.
I should probably check it's the same Ryan I'm on about, but yeah. I'm pretty sure I've already got Ryan. Yeah, I've got his. That's the same. That's the guy. That is the guy. Look at that. Wow, rigged.
Yeah. So is your local post? Have you been going to the post office, Louise, or are you going to wait till lockdown's over to send it out?
Well, I will. I can't say it'll be. Yeah, I haven't been brave enough to go out. I will be honest. I know we're a little bit. It's been eased off a little bit. I know now.
Yeah.
But I am heading. I will be heading to the post office next week anyway.
Okay.
To do a few things, so it will go out next week definitely.
Yeah.
But obviously, if Ian sorts it all out, and then I'll get it all.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah,
and it will go in a postal tube. It'll be in a proper tube. It won't be anything like that. So.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks so much for that.
Just fold it up in an envelope.
Yeah, just fold it up.
Yeah.
in a used envelope.
I tell you what, because I'm kind of the same with the post office. So I used to just go whenever. But I've kind of been saving stuff up, and I've started using people like DHL and people like that. And I think I've sent 2 things so far. I think one was Parcelforce, where they come to the door and pick it up, and it was like a $5 more expensive. And I was thinking, this is actually miles more convenient than me slapping down to the post office like I used to. And then I did a load of, I think I did 5 sculpts for this guy in America, and I was thinking, it's going to be a pain in the arse going down the post office and posting them. But I started using DHL, and I think it was 50 quid because of the extra, because obviously I've got to insure it and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Expensive. But I posted it on the Thursday, and it arrived on the Tuesday. So
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
yeah, I was like, oh, I think I might start using couriers a bit more.
Yeah,
I was proper impressed with them. Because I was thinking if I slapped down because when lockdown first started and we were allowed out for like food, I went up to the shops to get some stuff, and I noticed that because I think the post office was classed as essential, so that was open.
yeah.
I walked past and kind of stuck my head in, and everyone was rounding like sardines, and I was like, no,
I'm not risking that. No.
And that's what puts the fear of God in me. So
thing is, though, I went past it today to get shopping again, and it was completely different. I think as everyone's kind of learnt to adapt, there's more social distancing and everything's marked out, and people are kind of doing what they're meant to do. So it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah.
No.
We've got to go out there at some time. That's why I know I've got to go out there at some point. But,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're lucky. Our local post office down the road is like in a convenience store, so it's been open the whole time. And to start with, I was a bit like, well, it's not essential. Should I be going there? But then I thought, well, actually, they are open. People are using it and everything. So I have been a couple of times, but I don't tend to go. As you say, I tend to save up 3 or 4 packages and stuff, bits and pieces. But I mean, that's great. I mean, it goes when it goes. But if you're going anyway, then we're not forcing you out on a special trip. So.
If I get coronavirus, I'll blame you.
No, blame Ian. He's
on the bright side, though. Ryan's artwork will suddenly jump up in value.
It will, yeah.
All right, yeah.
I'll be famous.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I don't really want to die, to be honest.
No.
I mean, that would be commitment.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be. Yeah.
But lovely piece there. Congratulations, Ryan. Hope you enjoy it.
Yep, you lucky bastard. Right. Well, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. I think
for inviting me.
barring the few technical hiccups we've had, I think it's been a really good show. So what I was saying to everyone was I'm going to, for the audio part, I'm going to take the first part that Zach did when I was ill and we had a few hiccups.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to mash them together with careful editing. I say careful editing, it's probably going to be a train wreck, but I'm going to shove them together into one super long podcast.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I see it. Most people aren't going out. They can listen to an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of us talking. That should be fine.
Yeah.
So,
well, I forgot to say there was a question there. How did you find out about us? Because you've only been listening quite recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I know you guys from Facebook, so
I'm
friends with you. But I'm friends. but obviously on Ian's Dark Side Customs page, I follow that as well. So and then a few weeks ago now, I was like, obviously you came up, and I was scrolling through, and it was there, and I was like, oh, these guys are doing this. And I clicked on it. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know they were doing this. And it was awesome. So that's how I found you. I didn't even know how, just kind of fell upon it really. So it's brilliant. And I actually I was actually laughing the first time I listened to it because all Ian's every other word was the F word. I was like, this is awesome.
Really well tonight. Really well tonight.
So well. I've done so
said
well.
about reining it in,
But the funny thing is, like when we first started, so Zach was like, come on, do a podcast, it'd be great. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he said, yeah, but you have to kind of tone it down, and we have to be kind of respectable, and it's got to be great. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, of course we can, no worries, not a problem. And the problem is, so I it's a very bad habit of mine, but I swear quite a bit. It's not something that it's from years of being on the tools. And I swear like a bit of a sailor. And I didn't, my missus always telling me off because she's like, did you have to say that? Like, isn't an adjective. It's just what I do. I can't help it. And then, a couple of times Zach's been like, you have to tone it down a bit. And then, but I think he's given up now. He's just given up. And he's like, like the other day, he's like, fuck it, I want OFAC now. Come.
He always takes the opportunity to swear on our one, doesn't he? Because he doesn't do it on his own.
There's
his
a
own
big
show.
difference between Zach on his show and our show.
Yeah. He lets loose on ours.
He does.
You're very
Doesn't
different
he
when you're like messaging, isn't it? When you're talking to somebody via a message, and then when you actually see them and hear them, it was just like I was a bit like, oh my god, this is like blew me away. But I loved it. It's brilliant. I love
Yeah.
it. Continue to listen.
Cool. We got a listener for life there.
Yay!
Apparently, so I think for some reason,
Oh, right. I got a
Zach
message
is
from them.
desperate, absolutely desperate for Pete to talk about the package.
Yeah, and the package. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's about a month ago now. Zach sent a package that's got a few bits and pieces for me and Ian. He's sent me because I've got a quite a large Aliens 1/6 collection now. He's got, I think it's the original Alien Warrior Hot Toys that came out quite a while ago, and he's notorious for just basically being a bag of shite and falling apart. So he's had that kicking around. And he said, "Well, you might as well have it. You could do, you could do something with it. Get some glue on that." So that's great. And then I think he's sending you the hand trousers are in there. And
Honestly, I'm so grateful for those because such a pain in the ass to get hold of.
And I think there's some holographic crispy stickers and stuff. We'll get one of those out to you, Louise.
Yes, we get one of the bollocks ones out as well.
If you send me your address, we'll get some merch sent out to you. You can buy T-shirts as well now. Look, see.
No way. Oh
yeah.
How cool is that? Love it.
But yeah, so basically, he posted it, I think, around about the 15th, 16th of April, and the tracking was moving fine. And then it said 18th of April, Miami airport, leaving destination. So you think, okay, it's going to be maybe a week to get into the UK at most. And I'm very skeptical about the post. I've had enough bollocks go on with postal service and stuff getting lost. So about 2 weeks in, I start going, no, that's gone. And Ian's like, well, give it a chance. Things are slow. And I'm like, no, bullshit. I've had stuff, come in with days, from abroad, and I've sent stuff out there, and it's gone out there quick. So I just happened to I looked at it again last night. And I messaged Zach and I went, look, you're really going to you need to make a claim for this because that shit's gone. And then he replies back and he's like, well, I've just checked the track and they've just updated it. It's just arrived in Heathrow. So basically they held it at Miami for pretty much a month, which he said they'd been doing, to kill off if they had any coronavirus on it. So apparently it's in the UK now, so we should have it. I should have it in the next few days, and then I
had kind of noticed that anything that was sent US Postal Service seemed to be really, really slow.
Yeah,
because I noticed in the groups a few people were kind of going, well, it was that, and I think it was FedEx or someone was delaying stuff a bit. But so I thought, it's probably just held. I mean, my Crate Luke. Months, what was it? About a year now. When I ordered that from Toys Wonderland,
that was up in the air for a couple of weeks, wasn't it?
It was in the air for 2 weeks apparently. It was the longest fucking flight anyone's ever had in their life.
Well, this one's beaten that, mate, because it was in the air for a month.
Yeah. You've taken. My flying Crate Luke is now flying alien body parts.
Yeah, he's been busted. So, so I'll send that to you. We'll get some stuff out to you, Louise. And I've hinted to Zach that there may be a care package coming back his way. I haven't said what is in it or what may be in it. So when you send me the thing you're going to send me, if there's any other little bits you want to stick in there, food wise or whatever, then we can put a little package together.
I completely agree with Dean. Anything UPS is slow. I've got a package from DHL from Japan in 2 days. Private companies are the way to go right now.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Yeah. Although I think in this country, Royal Mail have done a great job, and I haven't really seen that much of a delay in stuff.
I've not had anything posted internally delayed.
No,
everything's come through as it should.
Yeah.
So I've had like scalps and all sorts come through while we've been in quarantine. I think the only thing that's taken ages is I got another smiling hand sculpt to paint because again, I got one, painted it, got rid of it, regretted it, and that was coming from China, and that took about 3-4 weeks. But that's, you know, they sent it by camel, I think, by the sound of it. But yeah, that's probably the longest I've waited for anything. Everything else has been pretty much there on time.
Yeah, so I sent that I sold the armored bats to a guy in Spain, and that got there in 5 days, which I was quite impressed with.
Yeah, because I think he messaged me. He was like, "What was it? You did to this?" And I was like,
"Oh, he did he?"
Yeah, I think
you couldn't remember.
I think no, I was like, I know I fucked around with the undersuit to get the articulation, took all the armor off and repainted and stuff, but I can't remember what I did to the undersuit, to like the suit, if I cut it or if I did something to it. Because I know I did something to it because it massively improved the articulation. But I can't remember if I just took bits out, if I just cut bits. I was like,
well, he's mega chuffed with it. He got it yesterday, messaged me, so he's all good. So he's really happy with it.
Cool.
That's cool.
Cool. Right. So it's that time, I think, where we say goodbye.
Yeah.
Because we've all got lives and we've all got stuff we want to crack on with. So again, Louise, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
it's been,
lovely
it's
to
been a blast.
finally speak to you in person. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, after all these years, it's quite nice to talk in person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was expecting you to have a Cornish accent.
No, people expect me to. I can put one on if you like, but the American people are like, "What is she saying?"
Yeah.
To be honest, if they understand my weird way of talking, then you should be fine. You should be fine.
Yeah, I've got no accent apparently, no accent at all. Never mind. Okay.
Cool. Right. Well, thank you, everyone. That's bye from me.
Yep. Bye from me.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Bye.